Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay
There
Stevens in the studio this morning. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 139. This week's pick was my choice off of the newly renamed Max digital streaming service, How to Create a Sex Scandal.
Yeah. First of all, you warned me that the Max app
Was going to be a problem?
Issues.
Was it a problem for
I
you?
had zero issues.
You had zero issues?
I downloaded the new app. It automatically imported all my login information, watched the entire thing, no issues.
Really?
Yeah. I got free rolled on this one.
Well, that's good. I've had my issues with it. Like I said, it closes down randomly. Sometimes it brings a player up randomly. But again, that was use on my phone.
I did on my phone too.
You were watching on your phone, no problems. Maybe it's an Android issue then. Could be an Android.
I'll tell you what, watching this documentary, first half hour in, I was so mad at you. I was like, everyone that I've ever made you watch that you hated, this one got me so mad. I was like, I'm going to kill Mike the Interns. First of all. Second of all, I'm going to kill these guys in this documentary. If I ever see them.
Before we get into the,
the one thing that messes with me is if you're mess with kids.
Yeah,
man,
both of us, same thing.
I am the most passive, chill, non-violent person. But you mess with kids, and that's where I will 100% use jujitsu.
You mess with kids, I'll burn this house down. You mess with my kids, I'll burn the world down.
That's where
I won't stop. I won't stop.
So
it won't.
These guys are messing with kids.
Yeah,
and it was making me mad.
So, reading the title, I thought it was in kind of a little synopsis about it. I was like, oh, it has to do with the swingers club in Texas.
Yeah, swingers club. I was on board. I was like, I'm in.
Jay's gonna love this
I'm
one.
in.
And I did, and nothing. I know nothing other than that. The little synopsis about a swingers club in Texas and the title, How to Create a Sex Scandal. That's all I knew going into it. So I had no idea about this story. I had no idea about the people involved, what happened, all that stuff. And then I watched it. Before we get into the meat of this, though, Jay, have you ever had a sex scandal?
Come this week?
How can I not ask you that question?
You mean this week?
Yeah, in the last 24 hours.
I had some near misses this past week.
Have you?
Some very near misses this past week.
Do tell.
Well, every time I do a show, there's probably a possible sex scandal in the wings waiting. But I've been trying to be a better boy, a better man. I've been trying to be a better boy. That's what he says. Angel boy.
I've seen it.
Angel boy.
I'm seeing it sometimes. What Angel boy haven't had like, oh my God, I shouldn't have sent her that pic, or oh my God, that's my butt. Oh my God.
I don't send pictures.
No, you don't. No unsolicited pics from Jay, huh?
Can't do that. I'm too famous to do that. It'll be everywhere.
Too famous to do that. Oh, that's making the promo. That's making the promo. Man.
The girlfriend will post pictures of something and it will make the rounds, and it's like not even anything bad. So could you imagine if I had said too many people are gunning for me all the time.
So you're telling me with a straight face right here and now that there is no like VHS copy of Jay Stevens circa 1989 LA sex tape that got just somehow passed around. You see the surfer boy, man. Then you come in. Hey, someone need a pool cleaned.
I mean, there could be stuff like that, but
there could be.
I don't send.
Oh my God!
I don't send dong pics.
But so you're saying that at one point there may have been some film recorded.
I have made love with cameras rolling many a time. If that's a very PC way to say it, I guess.
I'm just gonna let the silence out as long
we're
as
talking about a movie.
No, after you say that, I want you to come. Well, I wanted to be able to set this up.
That's the promo. We got 2 promos already made this morning.
The documentary is what it is. You can watch it. We'll get into that in a minute. But
it's a very good documentary. It's got a great twist in there.
Wait a minute. Do not go away from what you just said. There have been times in your life that the camera has been rolling. Do you have in possession some of these tapes?
No, I do not.
Somebody does though.
Maybe.
Man,
put it out there. If you have one, please send it in.
I don't think I could. If you came in,
look at my lifestyle. Look at my lifestyle.
I know. Hey, but dude, I've never, not one time in my life and any of my escapades ever been like, hey, baby, you want to put up the camera? And
I don't say
I don't want to see.
It's not my idea. It's other people in the room's idea just to start filming.
It's always that really bad angle too. You know what I mean? It's
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you do know what I mean. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. And whatever you're into, I'm not gonna shame you for whatever you're into.
Put up a camera, but just other people in the room just start filming.
But my luck, I would do that, and it would somehow we'd be like showing family videos with my kids or something. And then all of a sudden, here you see me walking into the room with a robe on. Like, oh man, no one needs to see that.
I want to see that.
Well, sorry for you. I can tell you with the
so
straight
that's
face,
how to create a sex scandal here at
104.7 The Cave. Yeah. There may or may not be some sex tapes with Jay Stevens out there. Possibly, maybe, we don't know. Maybe in the 417. Maybe what's the area code for LA?
808. 808 is Hawaii.
808.
Definitely was some stuff filmed there. 310 is LA.
Yeah, you see how it's changing? He's like inching his way. First he was like,
commercial break.
It's I don't know.
Time for commercial break.
Now he's like, oh yeah, specifically Hawaii.
It would have been February 1989, Hawaii.
So much better than anything we could talk about, any documentary at any time. But that's what we're here to do, and we'll talk about how to create a sex scandal next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio, still laughing about that first break. Also, I wanted to say that if we had ever had seen Jay in a sex scandal or a sex tape, I guarantee this is how it goes. You see them and the Jay and the girl and whatever, and then all of a sudden he's like, "All right, baby, can you pull your ID out and just show it to the camera?" And then obviously you see her zooming on the date of birth.
Sign this waiver.
Yeah, and then the NDA comes across. All right, it's all legal now. Let's get to work.
Oh my god,
dude! Oh my god! All right, thanks for the laugh. That was arguably one of the best openers we have ever had on this show, and it only took us 139 to get it right. All right, so we're actually here to talk about how to create a sex scandal documentary. Actually, before we get into this, I want to say big props to this guy. His name is Michael Hall. He's one of the executive producers on this docuseries. I went and did my homework after I watched it because I was like, I gotta figure this. I gotta know more about this. Some of the people involved, what happened to them. And I do that from time to time, especially after the ones that I just kill somebody watching. Yeah. This guy writes for Texas Monthly, and he is the investigative journalist that basically got the ball rolling on this, getting the attorneys involved, the guys that were imprisoned wrongly for this, the woman involved, the kids that were involved, and started bringing it into the full forefront. It really started as far back as 2008. That's how long this thing was going on. It involves the state of Texas and it involves children. So now the thing here is this: when a child says, "I've been abused," you have to take that seriously out of the gate. There's no question. You believe them. Right? There's never a chance to say you. It's one of those things where it's like you'd never want a kid to think that you can't be there to help them, and especially if an abuse is involved, because if you got one chance to get it right, and if they tell you something happened and you look at them and say you're not that, there's no way, you're wrong, blah blah blah. That kid is never going to say a word to you again, and that's just not the way it's done. Now, with that said, if abuse is involved, then needs to come in and do their due diligence. And that means interviews and gathering evidence. The key here, evidence, because in the United States of America, you are not guilty until proven otherwise, or they say
that's kind of how
innocent
it goes.
Until proven guilty.
How it goes.
But again, you know how this goes, especially when this stuff like this comes out. I mean, if any one of us got, hey, you did this and blah, 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 boom, regardless if you did it or not, your name is now tied to this thing. And that is unfortunate, whether you did or you didn't. Well, you did. You deserve to be locked into a cell and thrown away the key for the rest of your life, in my opinion. But if you're innocent, that's a tough thing, because anyone can say anything about you at any point. And if someone looks at it and says, we got something here, you're done. But if not, the damage might already be done. Now, back to what we were saying. The allegations start coming up. These kids start saying there is this swingers club in this small town in Texas. They make them basically do things, take pills, and it's crazy.
Silly pills.
Yeah, they called them silly pills. Yeah, that's right.
Kindergarten where they learn how to do
basically like
dances.
Sex school. Yeah, it's like sex school. And like Jay said, the first 30 minutes, it's like bam, 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 bam.
There's no way a kid's making this.
And you're like, oh my God, they need to burn this town to the ground.
Oh yeah, when they started showing the guys involved, I was like,
Burn them all. Burn them
choke
all
them
down.
all, yeah.
Burn this whole town down to the ground.
Whew, yeah.
But not everything was as it seems. And we'll talk more about that next Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern, Jay Stevens, back in the studio, Dark Side of the Stream, episode 139, discussing how to create a sex scandal. So as we said, this little town in Texas, allegations start to come up of a swingers club involving children that they claim are being abused. Some say they've been given pills. They're put up on stage. They're basically taught all this stuff. It's horrific.
Very
straight out of
elaborate
the gate.
story, too, for anyone to make up, let alone a child. But, I mean, the story is just, that's some thought went into this story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not just like, hey, so-and-so touched me. It's like, no, there's this whole chain. I took the money. This one was the dancer. Crazy story, man.
So before we get into the allegations, the crazy story really comes from a crazy woman. Her name is Margie. Margie and her husband have been foster parents and paid a lot of money from whatever state they live in, whether it was California or in this case, Texas, to watch kids in foster care. And
which, if you're a foster parent, you would think that's an amazing thing to be a foster family and take kids in that have had abuse situations or whatever. Amazing. So really, you hold those people on a pedestal, really, you know?
But there are people that abuse the system, and there are people that look at it as a job. How many kids I can have, that means more money for me. Some of these foster families will have 10 kids. Some of them are awesome, and they're saints for what they do. Some of them abuse the system. In this case, I will go on record to tell you right now that Margie abused the system.
Yeah.
Now, these allegations happen. The local town police, they look at the situation, they go, look, it's horrific that these kids are saying this, but we have no evidence.
Yeah, we don't see the evidence.
We have no witnesses. We have no evidence tying this thing together. The only thing we have is this woman and her kids, and that's it. And in this country, thank God, you have due diligence needs to be done when it comes to gathering evidence. So they're like, we're not touching it. So what'd she do?
Well, she went shopping. She went investigator shopping to find somebody that would.
She took that story to everyone that would listen until finally someone said, you know what? You're right. We need to take these people down. So what's this guy do? He has no background interviewing children with sexual abuse instances at all. And that whole thing in itself is they have literal experts that are trained to deal with children when it comes to interviewing.
And it's not even his jurisdiction.
Not even his jurisdiction. He had no background doing this. And on top of that, he allowed her, the one making the accusations, to sit in those rooms doing the interviews.
Yeah, and help the children speak. Yeah.
They asked yes or no questions, which is a huge no-no. And in some cases, she was just like patting their heads and talking to them and tell me what happened. And is that what happened? Oh, is that what happened? So you really start to get the picture. And the crazy thing about all this is that people literally were tried and convicted with no evidence.
Locked up.
In two cases,
lost their kids.
Lost their lives for years. In two instances, the jury deliberated for less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes to decide whether or not someone is going to go to jail accused of sexual abuse of a child. You deliberated less than 5 minutes? I don't know about you, man, but I don't think I'm ever living in Texas. I look at that and I'm like, that's like wrong place, wrong time. What if you were just at a party? What if you were playing a show at the lake this weekend and someone looked at you and said, that guy's a jerk, blah, blah, blah. And you're playing a show in Texas. The same thing could have happened to you all day long, based on no evidence. Just the fact this girl had it out for you. And she told everyone that would listen, Jay Stevens did something to me. Your life's over, whether or not you did it or not. How the hell are you going to continue on? It's messed up. And the fact that this woman, after creating all this stuff, is free.
Yeah. How is she not getting investigated or getting arrested for
That's
coercion,
a good question.
Child coercion?
That
really?
is a child, their life.
That's a form of abuse. I mean, parents do it all the time. Like mothers will do that against the dads. I had it happen to me, and I had to deal with that for a while.
It'll mess you up.
Yeah.
And she says in the beginning, these kids are messed up. And it's like, yeah, lady, they are messed up because you messed them up.
all because she realized she could get more money. The more abused the kids were, the more money the state would give her.
And she should be in jail for the rest of her life. We'll get to our reviews next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern, Jay Stevens, back in the studio one more time discussing Dark Side of the Stream, episode 139, how to create a sex scandal. It wasn't like the sex scandal we thought. We thought it was just going to be a bunch of housewives screwing around, but no, sir.
Yeah,
it was a lot deeper than that.
I highly suggest watching this documentary.
Yeah, I highly suggest watching it too.
It's got one of the things that I look for in a documentary, which is an amazing twist. It gets your emotions going for sure. It's a good one. Yeah, I will give it 4.5.
4.5 lost Jay Stevens sex tapes. I would also agree with that. And the only reason I would give it almost a perfect score just because
it didn't have a happy ending.
It just there was like the thing that made I wanted justice.
No one's a winner in this one. No one's a winner in this
one. So bad. I want justice for those kids that were put through this thing. I want justice for those guys that were convicted and alleged, like accused of this horrific act. And I want that woman to be in jail for the rest of her life. I don't want her. She should be on the same list of every sex offender that can't be within 100 yards of children. She should be on that same list. But guess what, boys and girls? She's back in California, probably doing the same damn thing. Ain't our country great? Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Don't mess with kids. You get me like really mad.
Dude, it's just like that's honestly, that's kind of why I started out this podcast the way I did to make fun of Jay about sex tapes and possibly one being in Hawaii, which I'm going to some thrift stores. Next time I go out to Hawaii, I'm gonna be like,
you're buying every one of those little compact cassette videos.
You got any old unmarked VHS
mini DV? They were mini DVs.
Okay. DVs. Now we're getting see how he's like, I don't know. It just gets more and more specific. Like he probably even knows the serial number on the tape. To be honest with you, I've been looking for that thing for years, man. It's on eBay somewhere. There's like
I've got
white dude Hawaiian sex tape on eBay.
I've got my pick for the next documentary. We're gonna go with a really good feel good story.
Thank God I knew that for this one.
And it's very topical because right now the guy's on top of the world and he literally was in jail most of his life, drug addict, and now he's on top of the
Jelly Roll story.
Jelly Roll
documentary.
God. All right. It's on Hulu.
It's called Save Me.
Yep, Save Me.
I guess I'll be.
Why are you not excited about a feel-good story about someone turning their life around?
I mean,
he's the biggest country star in the world right now.
And that just blows my mind. But that also goes to show you what country music today actually is.
Oh, look at Mike. Shots fired. Okay.
It is what it is. We'll hey. If that music makes you happy, bro or lady, that's great. Continue on down that road. Thanks, Jay, for making me watch it. I'm real excited.
I didn't know anything about this guy until just a few weeks ago.
So. He's actually not a bad dude. The music ain't my thing. But either way, that's not where we're here to judge music. We're here to judge documentaries, and you can watch them every Thursday, 9 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube Live, or listening to it my show, 9 a.m., or Jay's show, 6 p.m. I am Mike the Intern. This is Jay Stevens reminding you we watch movies so you don't have to. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.